Alright, what's up guys, and welcome back to another video. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. I don't know why I have to mention that every single time I do a video like this. So basically I want to capitalize on the Call Me Carson thing and all of that other stuff. I didn't want to talk about it until I had more news on it, because I didn't want to not know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? I felt like I needed to know more information about it, more information before it came out, before I decided to talk about the situation. So if you don't know, basically Call Me Carson and Fitz, they were like really close, they were best friends, right? Like these people, they were like friends for years, like long-term friends, stuff like that. And basically Fitz, he decided to bank his girl. So basically his girl is Katerino. She's basically been going around. She had an apology video. It was terrible apology video.
To live my life more openly and honestly.
She's basically going around sleeping with all of these Twitch streamers. She's been sleeping around with this guy.
I had some type of relationship with her. Like we saw each other maybe 10 times. There was some aspect of like emotions there.
She was sleeping around with Fitz, and then she had another boyfriend. He was like her manager or something like that. Apparently people were saying that that was her manager.
I had a boyfriend at the time, and neither Carson nor my boyfriend at the time knew about each other. And while I was clear with Carson that Carson and I were not in a relationship, I still let him on and ended up hurting Carson and my boyfriend at the time very badly in the process.
But see, what I kind of don't understand, if that was his manager, or if that was her manager or his manager, you guys know what I'm trying to say, the manager that was the boyfriend, how wouldn't he have known she was dating Carson?
To live my life more openly and honestly.
I have not sucked or fucked anything or anyone in the Twitch community.
And my thing is, I feel like personally the manager was kind of in behind the scenes, helping her do that, making sure that she really hit it off with Carson, because on the streams they used to stream a lot together. Her and Carson used to stream a lot together, and they used to really insinuate that they were dating, you know what I mean? Everybody thought that they were dating.
Like really nice today, Carson. I don't know what it is. You're glowing. Maybe it's the sunlight.
Thank you, Kate. Maybe it's the sunlight. It's probably that. I'm not in the dark like I usually am.
I think you're a cool person. I think we could be friends, but I'm loyal to Carson.
So she took Carson's fan base and took his fan base on. Now, mind you, she didn't have anybody before Carson. Like, before Carson, she was a nobody. So yeah, so I kind of wanted to read Fitz's apology letter that he had or whatever. So he basically said, hey guys, as many of you have heard, I've been involved in some personal drama recently. Although the situation is a lot more complicated than anyone expected, I want to apologize publicly, not just in private. I'm sorry, Carson. Katerino, I wasn't a good friend. I can only hope that someday you'll forgive me. I regret what I did, and I regret where we are. If you ever decide that I'm worthy of versing you in 8-ball, I'll be here. Till then, I'm sure the wonderful friends you have around you will have your back, basically, Cam. And I'll have that script prompted up on screen so you guys can see that. So this apology, he sucks still for doing what he did, but at least he apologized. And unlike Katerino, or Katerina, whatever her name is, didn't like make, what is it called? He didn't make excuses for himself. He apologized. Even though he did a very scummy thing, he still apologized for it and still is, you know, willing to make amends and stuff like that for it. But, you know, he apologized, you know what I'm saying? Carson also made something about this. He was usually staying silent about the situation. He'd come across and actually finally say something, and it's kind of lengthy. But yeah, Katerino was blaming this stuff on her depression or dep or something.
I didn't realize it at the time. I was dealing a lot with depersonalization, and I felt like I was two different people living two different lives. I felt like a passenger in my own body.
I'll play the clip of what she said. She was blaming it on that, and even people that had that was saying like, oh, like this literally has nothing to do with this. Like you sleeping with 4 streamers or however many people she did, this has nothing to do with that. I kind of want to read Carson's tweet really quick. Carson said, I'm sorry. For some reason, again, he keeps, I don't know why he's sorry for anything, but anyway, let's read it. So first of all, before I start off, you are all doing well. You probably weren't expecting any of this stuff, and neither was I. But here we are. This is a real mess, huh? I wanted to admit my own faults in this situation, as I am guilty of things here as well. It's been very difficult for me to watch everything unfold after I came out with the information I did on Reddit. It's my personal belief that I should have never made any of this information that's out now public. Okay, so my thing is, before I even continue reading this, is that, I mean, Fitz, mainly those two, Katerino and Fitz, did you dirty. So I don't really understand why he's apologizing for making this public. I understand that, you know, this is kind of hurting Fitz's image and hurting her image, but at the same time, that's what they deserve. You know, they were scumbags and they backstabbed you. There's no reason to why he's apologizing for making this public. I don't understand that. But anyway, I can understand where he's coming from. I get it. But there's no point for him to apologize. So it was a private matter that should have stayed private. Kind of true, not really. I mean, but it was a whole bunch of people involved. So it's a good thing that it came out, because now all of the people that was involved knows now what was going on, because most of the people that was involved, like a couple other streamers, they didn't know. I want to admit I am a complete fault for being in the public, immature and petty. It hurt me to think that two people could do something like this to me and get away with it. So an emotional impulse response, I put it in front of the world. This was the wrong decision, because at the end of the day, no one is entitled to the information besides the parties involved. I get what he's saying. He's basically, he doesn't want to tarnish their image, if that makes complete sense. So I get where he's coming from as a YouTube standpoint, because now Katerino, she has like over like 128,000 dislikes on that video that she made. So she's gonna be getting a lot of hate. Just like Kate and Fitz, I'm an entertainer that creates content for people, and what I do in my personal life, even if it's wrong, is information that I would like to be shared or think should be shared. As someone who has been dealing with imposter syndrome, and the inability to go out in public without being recognized, even to my hometown grocery store, I should have realized that hypocritically nature of putting his entire situation on display for all of you. Again, I mean, that was his fault for, for doing what he did. You have no idea how much I appreciate the support you have given me recently, and it's helped me immensely to know that I have all of you to fall back on. Okay, so my whole take on this apology is that he's a man for doing something like this. A lot of respect for him for even apologizing for this, but even though he didn't need to apologize, a lot of respect goes out to him, because acknowledge what he did was wrong, even though it wasn't really wrong. But I see where he's trying to come from. At the end of the day, these are these people's livelihoods. So he's saying he doesn't want to ruin their careers, because quite literally something like this can ruin their career. But at the end of the day, that was his best friend. I feel like he should have spoke out about that. I don't know if they're going to become friends after this again, if they're ever going to be friends. I mean, he will always have to have his girl behind his back, holding on his shoulders, because he's scared that he's going to do the same thing. It was like that. He could have really ruined their careers, which, Katerino, I mean, them dislikes is kind of insane, but that's not happened before, so I'm pretty sure she could probably bounce back from it. Hopefully not. I hate her, so, Twitch that. That's gonna be the end of the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you guys got any information, let me know in the comment section below. If you have anything that you want to say about the matter, then go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say what you guys got to say. See you guys later.